New year, new me, that's what everyone is saying right now, right? Well, if you're researching the pros and cons of living in Charleston, South Carolina for 2026, the real question is Charleston still the same or is it brand new too? Listen, I've done this breakdown before, but a whole lot has changed. And if you're thinking about making the move this year, you need the updated truth, not what Charleston was 2 or 3 years ago. So let's get into it. I'm giving you the straight no chaser 2026 reality of living in the holy city. The good, the challenging, and everything you actually need to know before you pack a single box. Hey, beautiful people. I'm Chatman, your Charleston and Summerville relocation specialist. Now, whether you're a family looking for a fresh start, a remote worker searching for the perfect work-life balance, or you're just tired of wherever you are right now, I've got you. In today's video, we're going to break down exactly what it really is like to live in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm covering the beaches, the food, the history, and the weather, but I'm also talking about the traffic that'll test your patience, the tourists, the hurricane season, and the cost of living that keeps climbing. So stick around to the end because I'm also showing how you can grab my free 2026 Charleston and Summerville relocation guide. So let's get right into it. All right, let's start with what draws so many people here in the first place, the beaches. And these aren't your average beaches. Charleston has access to some of the most beautiful stretches of coastline on the East Coast. We've got Folly Beach, that's your funky laid-back surf town vibe. Then there's Isle of Palms and Sullivan's Island, which give you that more family-friendly upscale feel. And don't even get me started on Kiowa. If you've seen those pristine, untouched beaches in magazines, that's probably Kiowa. What I love about living here is that these beaches aren't just for vacation. They become part of your regular life. Early morning walks before work, weekend cookouts, teaching your kids to boogie board, watching dolphins. Yes, real dolphins right from the shore. Most of our beaches are about 20 to 40 minutes from downtown, depending on where you live. And unlike some coastal areas, we have free beach access at most locations. That's a lifestyle upgrade that you just don't get tired of. Now, if you know anything about me, you know I take food seriously. And Charleston, this city takes food to a whole other level. We're not talking good Southern cooking, though we've got plenty of that. Charleston has earned its spot as one of the top food cities in the entire country. James Beard award-winning chefs have restaurants here. We've got everything from low country classics like she crab soup and fried green tomatoes to innovative farm-to-table concepts that'll blow your mind. And it's not just fancy dining. Your everyday eating here is elevated. The seafood is fresh. I'm talking caught that morning fresh. The local produce is incredible because of our growing season. And the variety, you can find authentic cuisine from just about any culture you imagine. I tell my clients all the time, though, budget a little extra for dining out when you first move here because you're going to want to explore. Trust me on that one. Now, if you're finding this helpful so far, we're just getting started. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. It really does help more families and remote workers find this information when they're doing their research. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? I drop new Charleston relocation content regularly, and you don't want to miss the real talk that's coming up in the rest of this video. Hit subscribe and that notification bell so you're always in the know. All right, we've got 2 more pros to cover, and then I'm getting into the stuff that might make you think twice. Stay with me. Now let's talk about something that makes Charleston truly one of a kind, the history. And I'm not just talking about old buildings, although we have plenty of those too. Charleston was founded in 1670, making it one of the oldest cities in the United States. You can literally walk down cobblestone streets that have been here for centuries. The architecture alone, the antebellum homes, the churches, the historic district, it's like stepping back in time while still living in the present. But beyond the pretty buildings, Charleston has deep, significant American history. This is where the Civil War began at Fort Sumter. This is a city with a complex and important story when it comes to the African American experience, including a major point for the transatlantic slave trade. Places like the Old Slave Mart Museum and the International African American Museum help tell these stories in a powerful way. Living here means your kids can learn history by walking through it. Field trips aren't just educational, they're immersive. And there's something special about being part of a city that has witnessed so much and continues to honor and reckon with its past. All right, let's talk weather. And before you say, wait, isn't this a con? Hold on, because there are two sides to this coin, and I'm giving you the good side first. If you're coming from somewhere up north where you're dealing with brutal winters, Charleston is going to feel like a blessing. Our winters are mild. We're talking average temperatures in the 50s and 60s. You might get a cold snap here and there, but snow, that's a rare event. And when it happens, the whole city shuts down like it's a holiday. No shoveling driveways, no scraping ice off your windshield every morning, no seasonal depression from months of gray skies. Instead, you get sunshine most of the year. You can golf in January. Your kids can play outside in February, and spring and fall here, absolutely gorgeous. Perfect temperatures, blooming azaleas, and the kind of weather that makes you want to be outdoors. For a lot of families I work with, escaping harsh winters is one of the biggest reasons they're looking at Charleston in the first place. And I get it. Life is just a little easier when you're not battling elements half the year. All right, so those are your four big pros: beaches, food, history, and that beautiful weather. But I told you I was going to keep it real. So now let's get into the challenges because every city has them and Charleston is no exception. Here are four cons you need to know about. I'm going to keep it real. The traffic in Charleston can test your whole entire spirit, and I'm not exaggerating. The Charleston metro area has grown significantly over the past decade. We're talking thousands of new residents moving here every year, but the roads, the infrastructure, it hasn't kept up. The peninsula where downtown is was designed way back when horse and buggy was the main transportation. It simply wasn't built for modern traffic volume. Rush hour can be rough, especially if you're crossing any of the major bridges like the Ravenel Bridge or trying to get from Mount Pleasant to downtown. I tell my clients to plan their routes strategically and honestly consider where they live in relation to where they work. In 26, coming from Summerville to downtown, it's like a parking lot at times. Now, if you're a remote worker, that might not affect you as much. But if you've got a daily commute, factor that into your decision about which neighborhood you live in. It really does matter. Now, another con. Charleston is a tourist destination, one of the most popular in the country. And while that's great for the local economy, it also means you're sharing your city with a lot of visitors, especially from March through October. Downtown can get packed. King Street, the market, the waterfront, these are hot spots that attract crowds. If you want to grab dinner at a popular restaurant on a Saturday night during peak season, be ready for a long wait or make reservations way in advance. The beaches get crowded too. Parking can be a challenge at Folly Beach or Isle of Palms when everyone's trying to enjoy the same sunny weekend. Now, the silver lining, you learn the local spots real quick. The hidden gems where tourists don't go, the best times to hit the beach, the restaurants that locals love. But it does take some time adjusting, especially if you're used to having a city to yourself. Remember when I said the weather has two sides? Here's the other one, and we need to have a real conversation about it. First, hurricanes. Charleston is a coastal city, and hurricane season runs from June through November. We don't get hit directly every year, but you need to be prepared. That means having an evacuation plan, understanding flood zones before you buy, and accepting that this is a part of coastal living. The good news is Charleston has extensive experience managing these situations, and the community really comes together. Then there's that heat and humidity. Baby, July and August in Charleston, not for the faint of heart. We're talking temperatures in the 90s with humidity that makes it feel over 100 degrees. If you're coming from somewhere with dry heat, this is a whole different animal. You will sweat doing absolutely nothing. Your hair will have opinions you didn't even ask for. It's manageable. People have been living here for over 350 years, but you need to know what you're signing up for. And here's the biggest con: the cost of living. This is something I need every single person considering Charleston to truly understand. The cost of living here has increased significantly and it continues to climb. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you off. I'm saying this because I believe in giving you the pros and cons of living in Charleston without any sugarcoating. The Charleston you might have researched 2 or 3 years ago, the price has changed. Last year's price is definitely not this year's price. Housing is the biggest factor. Whether you're looking to buy or rent, expect to pay a premium, especially in desirable areas like Mount Pleasant downtown or established neighborhoods in Summerville. The median home prices have risen considerably and the rental market is competitive. But here's where working with the right relocation specialist matters, because there are areas where you can still find value. There are up and coming neighborhoods. There are communities where your dollar stretches further. You just need to know where to look. So here's what it really comes down to. Charleston is not a perfect city. No city is. But for the right person, for the right family, it can be an incredible place to build your life. The key is going in with your eyes wide open. So there you have it, the real honest breakdown of what living in Charleston, South Carolina is actually like. The gorgeous beaches and incredible food, the history you'll fall in love with, the weather that'll challenge you and reward you, and yes, the traffic, the tourists, and the cost of living you need to prepare for. If you're serious about making this move, I want to help you do it the right way. Download my free 2026 Charleston and Summerville Relocation Guide. The link is in the description below. It's packed with neighborhood comparisons, school information, cost breakdowns, and everything you need to make a smart decision for your family. And if you want to talk one-on-one, I actually answer my phone. Call me at 843-532-0330. That's 843-532-0330. Let's have a real conversation about what you're looking for and how I can help you find it. Now, if you want to take a deeper dive into what it actually costs to live here, watch my video on cost of living in Charleston in 2026. I break down housing, utilities, groceries, and everything in between. The link is right there on your screen. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.